Test Drive is made possible by Flow. Learn more about EV charging done right at flow.com. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to PR and Test Drive. Today we have the 2024 Toyota bZ4X. Similar to the GR86 and the BRZ, this is yet another collaboration between Toyota and Subaru. Today, the trim we have here is the bZ4X all-wheel drive XLE with technology pack, which comes in at about 65,000 Canadian dollars after deliveries and before incentives. Let's get started. The front of the bZ4X features a closed-off grille along with sleek and slim-looking LED headlights. The design language here uses a lot of angular lines and sharp lines, which makes the front end look very futuristic. The XLE also offers contrasting colors, with the wheel arch / fender here being painted in this metallic dark gray color, and the other accent pieces like the hood and the mirror cap painted in gloss black. This specific unit also features the optional supersonic two-tone red color that blacks out, in addition, the roof. I really quite like this design language from Toyota here. Definitely adds a little bit of a flair and helps this family SUV stand out. Off to the side, in terms of dimensions, the bZ4X is a little bit longer and a little bit shorter compared to the RAV4, making the side profile look a little bit more sporty. Now over here you will find your charge port, which has a J1772 port for your level 2 charging and a CCS combo unit for your fast charging. Charging speeds, however, is not the fastest, so something Toyota really needs to improve here. Another thing that I've really noticed is just how big this side mirror is. It's also placed slightly higher than I would like, so it creates somewhat of a blind spot when you're driving out this area. In the rear, you'll find a full-width LED light bar that stretches across the tailgate. Looks pretty nice at night, however, I really don't like this black piece here. You'll also find a couple spoilers, one on the roof, one on the trunk lid, and you'll find a BEV badging down here that shows everybody that you're in fact driving a battery electric vehicle. Now, something you'll also notice is how slanted the roof line is, or the trunk line is. Which brings me to cargo space. Opening up the trunk here, the bZ4X offers 27.7 cubic feet of cargo storage, which is a decent amount of size here. However, it lags severely behind the RAV4's 37.4 cubic feet of space, mainly because of the slanted trunk or roof line. Now with that said, you can fold down the rear seats for extra room if you need to. One thing that I really like about the trunk setup here is that the privacy cover can go underneath the trunk floor for storage, and the whole process is very easy to do, which is excellent. As for powertrain, the bZ4X comes in two different configurations. A front-wheel drive version with 201 horsepower, 196 pound-feet of torque, or an all-wheel drive version with 214 horsepower and 248 pound-feet of torque. The front drive version uses a 71.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack, whereas the all-wheel drive version uses a 72.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack. The range on the front-wheel drive version is rated for up to 406 kilometers or 252 miles, where the all-wheel drive version drops that slightly to 367 kilometers or 228 miles. Lastly, let's also talk about the fact that we don't get any cargo storage space in the front trunk area. Kind of a disappointment, but anyway, let's jump in. With the XLE technology pack, it means that the seats and the armrests are all upholstered in Softex leather materials. This specific vehicle has it in light gray and it looks really good. The rear seats are very comfortable. You get plenty of legroom and a decent amount of headroom. You get heated seats, you get USB-C ports, and you get a panoramic sunroof. Additionally, you can also recline the seats, which is excellent. But my favorite part about the back seats here is this. There is a phone stand in front of your cup holders on your armrest in the center here. Good job, Toyota. This is what I like. Unfortunately, the front is where things kind of start falling apart for me. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like how comfortable these seats are, and I also don't mind the steering wheel instrument cluster setup here, but the bZ4X is missing a glove box, has touch capacitive buttons for most of the climate control, and this wireless charger cabinet reflects the sun when it's closed, depending on the time of day. Furthermore, the instrument cluster and the infotainment screen don't show much information either. For instance, while charging, it doesn't show me my charge speed, and the time remaining screen goes away after 10 seconds or so, and I can't seem to get it to show up again unless I reopen the door. It just feels like on the software department, there's a little bit of room for improvement. With that said, there are a few things that I really like about this bZ4X. First of all, the JBL sound system sounds really good. Second of all, the voice control is very accurate, meaning that I basically never have to touch this touch capacitive buttons to do any of my controls. Number 3, the park assist is very impressive. I basically just have to click a button and it starts doing the job for me. And I had no problem for it to detect any of the parking spots for me, which is also great. And lastly, the 360 camera is also excellent with plenty of sensors around the car, and it even shows you underneath of your car once you drive over it, which is a plus. Anyway, I think it's time for a drive, so let's hit the road. Just like most of the electric vehicles, the bZ4X, or at least this all-wheel drive version, is quite zippy around town. Not bad at all. So if you do most of your driving around the city, this makes an excellent choice for your garage. However, you will start to notice the power deficit versus its competitors when you get on the highway. Most of the bZ4X's all-wheel drive competitors have over 300 horsepower, but this only has 214, which also means that the 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time, or 0 to 60 miles an hour time, is in the 6-second range instead of the 4-second range in, say, an EV6 GT line. When it comes to the handling, the bZ4X feels composed. Steering is light despite having this tiny steering wheel, and it doesn't offer much steering feedback. But the brakes, however, on the other hand, feels pretty natural, which is excellent. With that said, the bZ4X does not offer one-pedal drive. All you have is one button here that increases the regen braking levels, but that's it. It doesn't come to a full stop. The ride quality, I would say, is one of the highlights of this SUV. McPherson strut in the front and a double wishbone setup in the rear. It doesn't have any of the adaptive suspension trickery going on here, but the ride is very smooth and not floaty at all. It is stable on the highway and comfortable in the city, even with those bumpier roads. The cabin also stays very quiet and you don't notice much wind or road noise, which is excellent. As for the efficiency, I was able to manage about 15 to 16 kWh per 100 kilometers in the city and 19 or 20 kWh per 100 kilometers on the highway, give or take. These numbers aren't the best, but it's also not as bad as what other people have been saying. Now, bear in mind though, I am testing this vehicle in summer/fall timing, which means that the temperature is basically in heaven in terms of the weather. This week, in terms of temperature, I'm ranging at between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. So, in winter, your mileage may vary. In terms of safety tech, this has got the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, meaning that includes features like emergency braking, lane departure warning, rear cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, lane tracing, and adaptive cruise control. The adaptive cruise control and lane tracing works very well. The lane trace keeps me in the center of the lane even on curvier highways, which is excellent. The tech package also includes a driver monitor right here, which looks at your face and detects when you're not looking on the road or looking at the road, and it will start beeping at you. It does get a little bit intrusive at times, however, you can turn this feature off. All in all, like many others have said, the 2024 Toyota bZ4X feels like a good first try, but more refinement and more improvement is needed in the E portion of this EV. I also feel like that the price tag is a little high for the overall package that I'm getting. Personally, I would opt out of the tech pack because I don't feel like it gives me a lot of the items that I deem essential. And it also, the adaptive cruise control is working very nicely. It does beep you, but it slows down very confidently. Okay, where was I? Yes, the tech package. It doesn't offer much of essential items in my opinion, and it costs 7,600 Canadian dollars. With that being said, the bZ4X is a stylish yet comfortable family SUV, and it is offered by a very desirable and strong brand, Toyota. Would you consider getting something like this, or would you consider getting some other electric family SUV? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.